Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. I'm honestly a little embarrassed to admit this, but I just finished watching Avatar for the first time, and I just wanted to get on here and make a quick video sharing my thoughts on the movie because I just really love this movie, guys. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm honestly kind of ashamed to admit this. Was my first time watching it, given with how popular it is. And I'm just overall a big fan of James Cameron's work, like Terminator 2, Aliens, and Titanic. Those are some of my all-time favorite movies, especially Terminator 2. It's like a top 10 movie for me. I always tried getting around to watching Avatar, but it just never happened. But I finally decided to sit down and watch both of these movies before Fire and Ash comes out in December. And I always figured I'd really like this movie whenever I got around to watching it. And trust me, I most definitely did, and I would even go as far as to say that it's up there with other stuff like Terminator 2 and Aliens. Um, One thing that I really loved about this movie is just how it's like a mixed bag of a lot of great great stuff that came before it. Think of like a greatest hits type deal. And I mean that in the most positive way possible. Like this movie is basically if you throw stuff like Alien, Lord of the Rings, Dune, Ghost in the Shell, and even some classic Studio Ghibli movies like Laputa, Castle in the Sky, and Mononoke, especially Princess Mononoke. If you throw all that in a blender, I feel like you'd get Avatar. Um, Avatar also has a really good story, and I'll go light on the spoilers in case you're someone like me and has been living under the rock for the past decade and hasn't watched this movie. But the story follows former Marine Jake Sully, who takes his deceased brother's place in the Avatar program, which allows humans to control genetically engineered bodies which allow them to interact with the Na'vi. And Jake Sully is thrusted into a war against the Na'vi to gain their trust and steal their most valuable resources. As the movie progresses, though, Jake grows a deep connection of the Na'vi to the Na'vi and the world of Pandora, which leads him to fight against the colonization to protect their world and their way of life. The story just also has a really good hook that keeps you invested from start to finish, and it's just also expertly paced. Like there was never a moment to where like I felt bored of it, or there was never a moment to where like I just got just stopped what I was doing, got on my phone. It just kept me invested from start to finish. Um, and another reason as to why it did, and this is a major standout for me, is the moon of Pandora, which is where the movie takes place a good majority of the time, and it's a vast world filled with jungles, floating mountains, trees, vast oceans, and tons of other magnificent creatures that inhabit this world. The world here that James Cameron has created is just jaw-dropping even today, and it just has some top-tier world building. Pandora is just one of these worlds that you just want to live in despite how dangerous it could be. I would almost go as far to say that the world of Pandora is just as good as something like Lord of the Rings' Middle Earth or Dune's Arrakis. And I also just love the species that inhabit this planet, which are called the Na'vi. I was just so invested in their culture and how deeply connected to the planet they were, and how they have their own unique language with communicating with each other, and how they connect with the creatures of Pandora by syncing with their heartbeat. Stuff like that was just so cool to me. And Avatar also still looks really amazing and jaw-dropping even today, which is no surprise because all of James Cameron movies still look insanely good. I definitely think this movie is a certified banger and has probably entered my greatest of all time list. I'm happy that I can finally scratch this off my watch list. I honestly can't watch Way of the Water and Fire and Ash that's coming out in December. I bet the Way of the Water is really good because another thing that James Cameron is really good at is making a killer sequel. Um, so yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to make a quick video just sharing my thoughts on this movie that I just watched. But I want to know down in the comments what you thought about Avatar. Be sure to comment on this video so we can get a good discussion going.